morning. Hello. Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm David Sponheim, and we're going to be doing a spicy pork pepper noodle. $5 is all this costs for $5. We got a box of Ronzoni, which, by the way, Ronzoni is saying now that they are non-GMO. That's really interesting. You can see that at the box stores on the rack. We found ourselves a pound and a half of pork, sirloin steak, with a little bit of bone, which I'm going to do some pretty smooth slicing right now and kind of clean it up. One of the reasons I am cooking for $5 is the pork was $2.50. The Ronzoni was $1. I got a good deal on that. I got a yellow pepper for 33 cents. I got 3 peppers for $1, which is hard to find in this environment. And celery, I consider this about 10 cents for the celery. So we're about a dime for this. I'm going to use some lemon too. It's going to really spark it up. I'm going to have a little bit of olive oil I pulled out. Paprika. Rosemary, that's an absolute must when you're cooking with pork or lamb. Garlic, I'm going for garlic. I might even do some fresh garlic. I'm going to go with cumin and chili powder. Now, cumin has got medicinal qualities. People say it's good for your brain. I don't know. That's somebody is saying that now. It's like, really? Okay. Might help Grandpa remember what happened at the Alzheimer's clinic last week. All this food is fresh. Everything's not Y2K tonight. We're going right out of the cabinet, going down to the market, buying good quality food. Pork itself is, I consider, superfood. Like when you go for bacon, the amount of B vitamins in bacon is so much that it actually increases your feeling of wellness and improves your amino acid structure. And I was talking earlier about how important amino acids are to people. I was a vegetarian for 5 years. And I finally went back to meat because my body was falling apart. I would notice that my teeth were loose when I was 28 years old. So I really had to, dig deep and say, hey, well, I'm kind of a paleo diet person who's in touch with the carnivorous side of my body as well as the herbivorous or omnivorous or omnivore. Anyway, let's talk about pork. Some people don't like it. There's a whole group of people in the world from the Middle East, as you know, that won't eat it. It's got a bad rap, I think. It's a low-cost food for people, and it really does feed the family, and everyone feels like they had something to eat. And that's important, to have that sense of wellness that you have from a nice meal. All right, let's get going. Yeah, pork is one of those things you want to cut on a separate plate. So as you can see, I've put it on a separate plate, and I'm going to be doing the cutting right in front of you. So here we go. Let's zoom in on the pork and me. And my hands are clean. I've already washed my hands. I'm going to take this bone out of here. This came right out of the freezer today, so just want to get the bone nicely trimmed. And it's a sirloin, pork sirloin, and it has a little bone in, so you got to get rid of the bone. That's the only downside. For this amount of pork for $2.50, that's a good deal. If you can find that kind of a deal somewhere, that's great. And of course, we throw our bones out. We don't compost them. So bones don't compost too well. Any kind of fat you see, sinewy fat like that, you want to get rid of. Okay. Anything that's going to be undelicate, not too delicate to eat, because nobody wants to sit there and eat grizzle while they have a nice pork dinner. And that's one of the nice things about pork is the fact that it is kind of a soft meat. It doesn't really get tough like beef. And that's one of the best parts about pork. It kind of softens up. If you've ever had carnitas, you definitely want to avoid eating pork when it's really old, but carnitas sits there on the stove for so long that it gets so tender. It often is a rotisserie. Carnitas is rotisserie. And it's just so delicate when you eat it. It's delectable. Anyway, a lot of vitamins in pork, so It also has a high amount of fluoride, so if you feel, like you're dozing during the dinner, it's because your brain is getting neutralized by all the fluoride in it. Somebody told me pork has fluoride, and I was like, really? Well, I guess I need to get my fluoride somehow, right? Because I don't get it in my water or in my toothpaste. So everybody needs a little fluoride, I guess. All right, we got a big piece of fat here. We're going to take that off. And you don't want to cut your finger, because if you cut your finger, that would be, the whole dinner becomes inedible because you have blood contamination. And you don't want to eat human blood. All right, so that's pretty much it right there. Now this would also make a meal. You could actually fry that up. So let's season that and get it going for you. I'm going to elevate it so you can actually see it. There we go. Okie dokie. You likey? You could bear used Blackpool. Okay. I can't imagine pigs roaming somehow. Yeah. Pork have bacon and pork chops. Okay. Right. Well, we're not going to get into the religious aspect. I know. But we are going to talk about how we're going to make this tasty. So I recommend seasoning it right now. Now, if I really wanted to get industrious, I would cut this up too. So why don't I do that too while we're at it? And what I do is I make like 1-inch chunks. That way it cooks quickly on the stove. You don't have to worry about any uncooked pork. Ripping up that pork meat. Somebody just let off a firecracker. An M80. So just 1-inch chunks is good because it creates kind of a meal unto itself. And you're going to be feeding 5 people, so you want to make sure everybody gets something out of this. And for 1.5 pounds of meat, that's really all the protein you guys need. 5 people, it's more than enough. They say that people need about 4 to 6 ounces of protein at their meal. Anything more is actually too much protein. Cool. Now, cutting this is kind of a pain, so you need a really sharp knife. I happen to have a $30 knife here. It's a Cutco knife. I told you about this last week. I felt ripped off at first, but it's got a really permanent blade and it does a really good job of cutting. So I would think a Ginsu knife would be good too. Okay, we're going to rip this kind of flesh apart here. Now I do these shows in real time, so you guys get a chance to see what it's like to cook and prepare food, but you've got to be very careful with a sharp knife. I want you to be very careful and hold everything slow and careful so you don't hurt yourself. Because the chances of cutting yourself is so great that you have to be a master at cutting to really pull this off without any glitches. Like me. I happen to be very good at cooking, so that's why it's not a problem for me to show you how to do this. And of course I wash things off after every use. All right, let's get to the seasoning. We're going to go with cumin. Normally I put cumin on at the end of the meal, but I'm just going to get it started with a lot of spice. Cool. I'm going to go put a little chili powder on that. Actually, a lot of chili powder. Because I want to make this spicy. Almost a third of a tablespoon. I put paprika on this dish, so we're going to do paprika. And this gives a nice glaze. It looks like it's orangey when it's cooking. And we'll go with the garlic. Lots of garlic nuggets here, organic garlic nuggets. And of course, rosemary. I'm going to throw about 20, 30 sprigs, maybe 30 sprigs of rosemary on there. Okay. Now that's done. Very nice glaze, yes. We're going to start up our stove. Moving to the next section here. Whoa, did that really make a loud noise? Hello, testing. Okay, we're good. All right, great. Let's go ahead and set up the light. We will go ahead and start the pan. First, I'm going to get water here. So we just put a new reverse osmosis filter in our sink, so we're going to go ahead and get water there. I'm filling up this filtered water so I can make the noodles. Isn't that great? Paprika is a little smoky, yeah, but it tastes really good with pork, I think. I'm frozen. Hello? Oh, I haven't dropped on my end. All right, we're going to go now to the stove where we will start that up on a level 6, a high flame. I'm going to throw some sea salt in there for flavoring. I'm also going to pull in a little Italian seasoning in this meal. And I'm actually going to put it in the water. A touch. If you like that, that's kind of cool. All right, cool. Now, we're on? We're good? Okay, great. Level 3 for the front burner over here. We're going to get this pan going. Sounds good. So how's everybody doing? Doing well? I don't do crack. I'm not a crackhead. Unlike your current president and some of the other people running, I'm not a crackhead. I'm not a drug user. I do smoke a little bit of the herb, you know, when I vape. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the mic. The mic's over here. Okay. Yeah, I smoke a little herb, you know. That's about it. I don't do drugs, though. I don't consider marijuana a drug. Let's get to chopping vegetables and prepping the veggies. We'll rinse off those carrots. Make sure the celery is rinsed off. There we go. And let's get ready to rumble. Okay, the pan is heating up. I'm going to put a little oil in there. I'm going to start peeling the carrots on camera here. Trying to get organic ingredients whenever I can, but these are not organic carrots. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that. The organic carrots went up to $3.88 for 2 pounds from $1.79 the previous week. So I got these for $1.29 for 2 pounds of carrots, so they're still pretty reasonable. And I actually don't really detect a lot of differences between organic and not organic, carrot-wise. But whatever. You can be overly concerned about everything. Composting. That's why my head is going down. All right. Boy, that's getting hot over there. I can smell it. Okay, before I do anything, I think I'm going to get those carrots in the pan. Okay, since I'm going with the stir fry, I'm just going to go ahead and line these up real quick and make medallions of them. Just about that far. No more than a 1/4 inch thick, so you want to make sure that you have everything under control. Now always remember, this is very dangerous, so you always want to keep your fingers away from the knife and use your leverage point. I push the knife down and I use that tip as a leverage point. That's very important when you cut. It's a lot better to cut when you have leverage than if you don't. Okay. We made mincemeat out of that real quick. Okay, we're going to put oil on the pan back here. There we go. I use extra virgin olive oil. We're going to throw those carrots right in there. Cool. Pan's getting hot. I'm going to cover it up. Offensive, so many levels, really. So you think that meat is offensive, Puck? But weren't you the one that talked about how to eat human meat? I mean, it sounded weird earlier when you posted that link. I mean, why would you be the one who's upset about eating meat? You're starting to not make any sense. Okay, this is getting hot pretty quick. This is warming. I'm going to take this level up to level 5 over here. Okay, I'm going to take and do a little bit of the zesting, because I do a lot of zesting in this show. So I'm going to clean the orange up. I'm going going to clean the lemon off and then zest it. You're wondering, why are you putting lemon in your dish? Well, I'm going to use half of a lemon. I save the other half for later, another meal. And I put lemon or lime in the pork dish because it really adds flavor, and it's a flavor enhancer, and it'll help you actually avoid salt. I know a lot of you are going to want salt, so we've got some salt in the meal coming. And I'll show you how I can stretch soy sauce in just a bit. So that's all zest. I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Save that other portion. De-pit it. There we go. And I'm going to use that lemon in the dish. I'm going to take that lemon and just throw it on the pork. A little carrot strip in there. Okay. All right, more cutting. Here we go. You're going to see me cut an onion quickly. And don't eat the bottom of the onions a little too harsh for your meal. All right. Okay, we go right in the sizzling pan with that. All right. Now we go for the celery. Making sure you don't have these bad ends. You don't want that. Celery looks good. Survey says. Real basic cuts. Again, no more than a 1/4 inch in size. But big enough to actually feel texture in your meal. Okay. All the way in the pan. Ta-da! And of course, don't forget my wooden spatula. Very important. I don't recommend cooking with plastic. You would actually have plastic in your meal, which would not be very good. Plastic in your meal is not tasty. A little bit more celery there. All right. Stir that around. We've got onion, celery, and I'm going to add some garlic to that as well. And a couple of the ingredients like chili powder, lightly. No rosemary though. If you want to add anything else, you can. All right, I'm going to cover that up. Let that kind of glaze. And we will get down to the... No tin goods tonight. No Russian Spy. This is all fresh food. I got a lot of flack from the guys on Maris. They were saying that I was cooking with some old cans, and they would never do that last week because I was cooking with my Y2K food. And I understand you guys, but if you're in the middle of the... Uh-oh, we got fishy stuff here. The French Bastille Day terrorist attack looks fishy. Thanks for that. Scissor Fight's got some graphic footage. Okay, I'll be asking you later to post that in our other room, Scissor Fight, so we can keep it on the other computer. All right. So keep the top on that. Keep the top on this. This is getting hot. Getting ready for our noodles. I've just got one more thing to do, really. I'm almost done with the dinner. I know that sounds ridiculous, but be sure you wash your pepper. And you make sure the seeds are not in it, so you want to pop it out. Like that. And Sarah gives me a lot of problems with seeds, so I make sure the seeds are not in the meal. And this was an older pepper. It wasn't perfect, but it certainly is good and perfectly edible. All right, and just kind of flick the seeds out of it and kind of shake it like that. That way the seeds don't get in your meal and no one says, ooh, I got a seed, like Sarah does. She really is, she's tough on me, I'll tell you. There's one loose seed in there. When I met her, she's very fastidious with her dinners, and she likes to eat, very carefully. That's part of the way she stayed thin all her life, or slender, is she eats slowly. Isn't that great? Okay, we got something in there right now. I got to get a stir going. All right. Nice. Cover that up. Fantastic. And we'll get this thing nice and sliced up in, again, 1/4 inch chunks. Voila. Looks like I'm going to need a little sharpener on this side. It's time, yeah. But not right now. Okay, take a little of that lemon and splash it in there. A nice lemon coating. There you go. Take that meat, scoot it right in there. Cover it up. Make sure all your meat is, of course, separate from all your other knives and things. Okay. Okay, I have a little bit of water here I'm going to add. Take some filtered water right here. About that much. Take your soy sauce, which is very, very, very salty, and put just a little bit of the soy sauce in the ladle, just enough to fill the top of the cap, I should say, and then dump it right in the water. Ta-da! That's about all the salt your meal can handle. Seriously, it's that salty. Be very careful with soy sauce. Okay, take that amount right there and pour it right on top. Now you got yourself something. It's cooking very nicely. That's a pretty big meal, so be brave, ask questions, demand proof. That's right. Scissor Fight's doing the right thing by doing that. He's just tracking down the truth, folks. Yeah, that's what Scissor Fight's up to, and it's really an admirable quality that he's just trying to nail down the truth. He's not trying to look at anything as a false flag up front. Just trying to get to the truth and find out how much real information. Was that a car going through a road that looked like it was killing people, or is there camera footage of people being crushed by the car? I mean, all kinds of horrible things that may have happened in Nice. Not very nice in Nice. All right, thanks for coming in and hanging out with our show, by the way. We are in the pre-show mode, so I'm ready to start adding those noodles to this dish, I think. I got bubbles coming in there, starting to really get to a full boil. Let's make it happen. You notice I haven't put the peppers in, right? That's because I want to keep those peppers nice and fresh and crispy and tasty in the meal. And you can use your same wooden spatula for that. Just mix it up around. You don't want it to stick. But I can smell a little of the Italian seasoning infused in the noodles, so should be interesting. By the way, you can cover it, but you got to keep it off like that. You got to keep it slightly off. You don't want that cover to get on there, or it will. Really? There is no camera footage of people being crushed and fake looking. Oh, really? Guest 818 says we could have a false flag. Wow. Thank you for your due diligence. We don't want to boil over. That's right. Thank you, 767. And thanks for integrating in the show. You guys are giving me some tips, keeping me on the straight and narrow here. most of our actual cooking is over, believe it or not. That's how easy cooking is. It's just really just draining the noodles that we, and then adding everything together and making a fusion of the two. Now, I would have chosen egg noodle if I wanted it to cook quickly. Egg noodle cooks incredibly fast. If I'm on the road, I would take egg noodle, just because it's a very fast and easy cook. Don't do ramen. Don't do ramen. Ramen is proving to be very undigestible. The studies have shown that ramen has poor digestion qualities about it. Yeah, they looked at intestines and with scopes, and they couldn't believe they found ramen 2 days later exactly like it came out of the package in people's intestines. And you definitely want to drain the noodle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, so far we got, notice how hot it is over there? You see that pan is just spewing steam. Well, let's get in there. We're going to have to do a little adjustment here. Take this wooden spatula and press down on everything. Get it in there. Press it in. Get it down there. Push down on that meat. Press that meat in. Now those carrots are still not even done, but we're running at a level 6, or 5 actually. Running at a level 5 here, and we're still at level 6 over here. I'm going to give this a little stir. I don't really mind having a little bit of pork on this wooden spatula if it goes right into boiling water. And it rinses the spatula off too. That's a little trick I learned from cooking for 45 years. Actually, 46 years now. I started cooking when I was 10 years old. I should get a wireless headset for my cooking show, yeah. But you guys can refer to a good wireless headset that's under $30. That'd be great. Yeah, well, that's why I talk with a deep voice, with my mic up close. You see, people don't realize they've got a very, very deep voice. In fact, normally I talk like this. Yeah, okay. So let's see what we got. We're going to put some things away while we're waiting around, making sure the soy sauce goes away. We certainly don't want it out and about. When I travel with these things. I carry these packets with me. These are fantastic for road trips. They're really good for flavoring your meals when you're on the road and you're making dinner. Hey there.
Hey, how you doing? Hey. Hey there, buddy. Living large, buddy. Hey, how you doing, man? Right on, buddy. Yeah.
But let's go over here and see what we got. Oh, we've got a little cover coming in there. Yeah, we're going to stir those noodles, making sure they're not overcooked, of course. But remember, they take a long time. This is Rottelle. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open this pan. Oh yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit smarter and not open this pan as much. Okay. It'll be really tasty. And you can use garlic at any time in this meal. Very fresh garlic. Yeah. Nothing like garlic to really add flavor. We'll add that when we add the peppers. What do you say? Oh, I'm boiling over. See, I blew it. But it's not a big deal. We're going to go topless on the noodles. That's a good roaring boil we got there. And I'm not going to open that yet. We're going to take a look at the garlic. And you guys remember from last week how to cut the garlic to make it, quick to cut. That's the best way, is just press it down with the skin on. Go like that. And it pops right out of the shell. Super easy. You don't have to stand there and get all garlic fingered. But if you do get garlic fingered, and you know what I mean by garlic fingered, smelling like garlic, is like, honey, what are you doing? You smell like garlic. Well, see how fast that came off? I am the fastest cook on earth, you know that. Do a little dice right there. I'm going to show you a trick to get rid of the smell of garlic on your fingers. You watch this. See, this knife is stainless steel. You run your fingers over the knife. nice filtered water, and garlic smell is gone. Isn't that great? Something about stainless steel and garlic, it does something chemically. I'm not sure what, or electrochemically. I'm not sure if it's electrochemical. Those noodles are doing great. We're almost ready to drain them. Typically 8 to 10 minutes on this type of a noodle to be al dente. And we got 10 minutes on the dinner, so we're doing great. I'm putting since that meat was so tender, I'm leaving all the juices in there. And I'm pressing in on that. Now I'm going to take, and we're ready for the noodles. Excuse me. We're ready for the yellow pepper and the garlic. That goes right on top. Like that. Cover it, steam it. Actually distribute it a little bit. Okay. This is cooking pretty fast on a level 5.5, and this is a level 6 right here. So 5.5 to 6 is what you need. Awesome. See that lemon? We're going to add that lemon toward the end of the meal to kind of frame the whole thing. Now your salt came from your soy sauce. Your salt substitute came from your lemon or your lime, whatever you want to cook with. And the noodles are almost ready. Fantastic. So far, we're right on target. How are you tonight? How is everybody doing? Well, what we use for spicy, let's go over the ingredients list. Okay. We used olive oil as a base. Chili powder, that was spicy. Cumin, that was spicy. Garlic, that was spicy. Paprika is not spicy. And rosemary. Rosemary is a perfect fusion of flavoring whenever you have pork or lamb. Highly recommend rosemary or saffron or whatever you're working with. That's expensive. Saffron, actually cumin is considered the poor man's saffron, in case you didn't know. All right, that's cooking right there. We're ready to turn the flame off on this guy. We're going to get the water going. I'm going to pour these in the water, draining all that water out. I don't want to overcook my noodles. I get a lot of people telling me I should not overcook my noodles. Okay. Now you turn around. See this over here? Cover the whole dish with the noodles. Like that. Turn the entire thing off. And when you're done, you're done. That dish will sit and cook for the next 25 minutes. That dish will sit and cook for the next 25 minutes. And we are going to be looking at a fantastic, a dream meal, folks. A dream meal. When you get ready to serve it, there's my betta fish. When you get ready to serve it, you have to just mix it up slowly. Gingerly move all the noodles around. Bring it together. That's it. We're done. Is this amazing? This has got to be one of the fastest meals I've ever made. Now everything's off. The burners are off. The heat of the noodles will meld with... There's no ginger in this pork. This is a spicy pork dish. Yeah. Normally I would cook with ginger, but you could cook with ginger. Yes. All right. Isn't this great? $31 from China. Included the stand. I got it on eBay. It's a dynamic mic for $31 delivered. All right. Well, isn't this fantastic? Yeah. I even have time to say au revoir. No, the beta fish is just being there for your edification. He's being a beautiful. Look at that beta fish. That is. See how exciting he is. I bet he wants to eat another bite of food. You think he wants to have dinner too? Let's see if we can give him one more bite of food. These pellets are so small you wouldn't believe it. They're unbelievably small. There it is. Let's see if he comes to the food and gets it. Yep, he ate it right away. He ate it right away. He just had that. Look at how he's sitting there. He just had that piece of food. And he's looking at you and he's going, wow, now we get to eat. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go into the other room, start the XSplit program, and we are going to go on a merry trip into Technology Thursday and find out what's going on in the world and find out if we can vet this situation in Nice, see how many people really were crushed by the truck. We'll look at it, yeah. You want to see your ceiling? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Here's my ceiling. That comes standard issue with most mobile homes. I have a modular home. People call it a mobile home, but it's a modular home, and I really like it. I really do. I could see living in this the rest of my life and not having a problem. No, the mobile home we purchased does not have any lead in it. No. No formaldehyde to speak of. We tested it out. Isn't that great? It's one of the top end modular homes. Why isn't the bowl filled more? Because Sarah decided the fish doesn't deserve a full bowl. I know. My dad willed me the home because I helped him build a house for one. And I was with them for 25 years throughout the end of their life. I mean, I took care of my father. Back in 1985, he had a heart attack. So from 85 to 2000, I was with him. But prior to that, I did a lot of things in the home. My family pretty much was out on their own. I was the youngest child in my family, so I had plenty of responsibility. The other kids just took off. I'm a good son, yes. All right, everybody, thank you for watching our recorded broadcast, and catch all of our great recipes every week on Thursday live from our show at Vaughn and Battle Camp. All right, take care. We'll see you guys as soon as we can in the other room.